Kick real hard. They need my own blood. Hey everybody, it's AG with Keeping Up with the North alongside me in a different state and nice weather, not freezing his ass off. We got Bruce Lewis. Uh, yeah, we got quite the agenda today. We're gonna do a brief recap of our weekend. I'm gonna go over some Muay Thai action. If you guys watch the playoff games, there's some pretty quality games. We'll talk a little bit, give out some awards, end of season awards and stuff like that. But yeah, how was your week?
Yeah. It was pretty damn good actually. I don't know, I've had quite a few business appointments down here trying to keep things going and get ready possibly for a new life maybe. So that's some news that might come out. And then it was really good actually. I went out, tore up the town with one of my buddies on here. How about you? What was your weekend like?
Pretty eventful. Friday night went to the bar. I had some drinks.
Yeah.
Saturday went to a benefit for my dad's friend up in Long Prairie. Shut the bars down up there. And then Sunday, my stomach felt like shit and I wanted to die. So,
I believe they call that gut rot.
they do. But, a little bit of ginger ale, some good food, and we were good to go.
Yeah, facts.
But,
I'll tell you what, Ian had a tremendous fight.
Oh, yeah. So, Ian's now 2-0 since the 2-year layoff. Starting to make some noise on the global stage. So, I'm going to go over that fight. It's in Cambodia. The Cambodians do not like the Thais.
No, they do not.
No. I saw the stitch job not too long ago. It did not look very good. Looked like a little kid scribbling with a crayon. But yeah, going over that fight. I mean, Ian got caught with a step-in elbow in the first, leading to a flash knockdown. He got up right away. I'm surprised they actually gave him an 8 count. Usually in Muay Thai, if you get knocked down right away, get right back up. They usually don't give you 8 count. But once again, he's in Cambodia. It's a little different scene over there. But he was landing. What was that?
I was gonna ask you what was up with that. What was up with that? Because he got right back up and he was standing there fine. Normally, I thought, like you said, they just kind of touch gloves and then were like, okay, get back to the fight. But yeah, it seemed like they were trying to go the whole count on him.
Yeah, I mean that's how it is when you fight in a country that doesn't.
That's fair.
But it is what it is. He was landing his rear kick real hard in that first round. He was evading the high kick really good from Samforce. I mean, that guy could not touch him with that high kick at all. I thought Ian controlled the clinch very well. Ian did get cut when we were just talking about that crayon stitch job. He was cut late in the second round. They had to stop it for a little bit just to make sure the cut wasn't too deep. I'm not sure how many stitches he got, but I'll tell you what, he was pretty fired up after he got cut. I mean, he came back throwing some brutal elbows, stepped in through a hard rear elbow towards the end of the second round. Fight ended via doctor stoppage. The guy had a nasty gash right next to his eye. You get like a sty, it was right here. I mean, it was deep. It was gross.
Yeah, it was deep.
So his cut
on the camera how bad it was.
What?
Yeah. I said you could see it on the camera how bad it was.
Oh yeah. They did a nice little somersault or something. I don't know. It's pretty funny. But yeah, I think he's looking to fight at the end of February, and he's got to heal up, obviously, get the stitches out and everything. He cut up his elbow pretty bad too. It's a bad man.
Yeah. Doesn't what was it? What did your brother say about blood? He doesn't get into the fight until he's cut and he's bleeding or something.
Yeah, I don't know, something like that. But all I gotta say is I can dodgeball, like Ben Stiller says. Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
Yeah.
But so that was good. He got another win. Look for him to be fighting end of February. But we're gonna move on from that. Get into the playoffs. We'll start with the NFC Championship. Eagles win 31-7. Dominated.
Oh, I feel so bad for the 49ers after that game.
Yeah, Purdy injured midway through the first quarter. I mean, he only had
Yep.
4 pass attempts. UCL tear. So those of you want to put in common sense, pretty much he's getting Tommy John surgery.
Yep. Yeah. That's usually what happens when a baseball pitcher in a tear there. It's right here in like the arm, I think, or by the elbow.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Yeah, that was such a bad sight. And then you got Josh Johnson came in for him, just absolutely got annihilated by Sue on the next play.
Oh man,
forcing him to get a concussion.
dude, I knew right away. I see him. He hit him. Josh Johnson's head just smacked the hell out of the turf, and he like got up and
Yeah.
kind of stumbled a little bit. I'm like, yeah, he's not coming. And then McCaffrey had a few snaps. I don't know. They should have just rolled with CMC.
Yeah. Yeah, at that point, I mean, don't throw an injured guy back out there. Purdy went back out. He didn't throw any passes like you just said. So I mean, he was just really there to run the offense. But dude, the Eagles' defensive line was just getting after them all day long. There was no answer for Hassan Reddick.
Oh man, I mean, forced a fumble, recovered a fumble, 2 sacks on the day. I mean, he's the reason Purdy did get injured.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he wasn't intending to injure him. It was a great play. Hassan Reddick's a fucking dog, man. I seen that dude on the sidelines yelling. He had spit drool coming out of his mouth. Just a dog. Just a dog.
They were trying to double team, triple team. They just could not stop him.
Oh, even Trent Williams is having trouble. I mean, he's one of the best, arguably one of the best tackles in the league, too. How about his I don't remember who he threw, but I'll tell you what, that shit, they said Trent Williams has had enough. And he just grabs
Yeah.
the horse collar, just throws him down to the ground. Oh man, they were not. Like they said, he was not having it. He was not
Oh
having
man.
it. But
The
Philly
49ers were
dominated.
flustered.
Philly dominated spectacular fashion. How about their rush game? I mean, Miles Sanders had 2 touchdowns. Hurd had one on the ground. Boston Scott with another. I mean, they didn't even really have to pass the ball. I think Hurts had 12 attempts. He was like 12 for 15. So
Yep.
then
Yeah,
Devontae
man.
Smith. Yeah. Then Devontae
that
Smith
Devontae Smith play.
had that great non-catch. Yeah, I thought it was a catch at first, and they showed one of the angles. It wasn't a catch.
And dude, that is such a big game. Like, granted, who knows if it would really change the outcome of the game, but that's a big play to have happen.
Yeah, early in the game. I don't know. I mean, they won 31-7, so
right.
Who knows?
Like I said, I mean, I don't think it changes the outcome of that game at all, but still, it's just like, in a big playoff game, that's a big call they have missed. I mean, they hurried back up to the line. They got their playoff. Sure, teams they practice that, right? They practice, look, we got a code word that we say, get up to the line, so we can't get a replay off. But I don't know. I think that should have been stopped right after that catch just to take another look. But it is what it is. I mean, the game's over. I think this officiating crew this year has just kind of been atrocious all across the board. And yeah, I think it's something to look into for next year.
Yeah, they suck ass every year. But yeah, Philly moves on to the Super Bowl. And then we had the AFC Championship game. You talk about refs. There's a lot of questionable calls in that game, too. But Chiefs won 23-20. Mahomes 29 for 43, 326 through the air and 2 touchdowns. I think we saw some of that Mahomes magic. Honestly, I think his ankle's fine. I don't know if he's milking it or not. I mean, I saw him limping a few times, but I mean, he was throwing off his back foot just fine. I mean, a high ankle. Someone misses 6 weeks with that injury. There's just no way he's.
Yeah, and then when he ran that final play, which, Joseph Asai, unfortunate. But, yeah, he ran on that final play, and he looked really good. I mean, it didn't look like that ankle was bothering him at all. So, I don't think it's anything to really have to for just being safe.
Man, I mean, Chris Jones looked great on their line, too. I mean, 2 sacks, 1 tackle for a loss. I'm pretty sure I saw his pressure rate. I believe it was like 25% of the snaps he was getting to the quarterback. So
that is nuts.
That guy's a monster. I noticed watching these games this week, a lot of these games were won on the D line.
Yeah. Oh
So,
yeah.
I
Well, and
mean,
then you look at the Chiefs offense too. I mean, they were humming. It was just Bengals really good defense. It was a back and forth game all game long. It was more so defensive than anything. Travis Kelce went off too. He had 7 receptions for 78 yards and a touchdown.
yep.
How about that comment at the end of the
Yeah,
game?
we'll get to that. We'll get to that here. But yeah, Bengals mounted a comeback in the second half. T. Higgins had just an amazing catch. I mean, he got up there. That guy is a fucking monster. But yeah, Trent McDuffie had a big game for the Chiefs too. With Snead going out, he really stepped up. He had a couple pass deflections. Um, but yeah,
Oh,
that
and that
Joseph.
interception
No, he didn't
off
have.
the tip. I thought it was him, or who was that actually?
I'm not 100% sure on that.
All right, we'll double check into that.
Yeah, Joseph Asai though with that roughing the passer penalty, the penalty final drive. It still would have been probably like a 59, 60-yard field goal. So Becker could have made that probably, but you just never know. I've kind of feel at first I was like, God, what a dumbass this guy is. But now, I kind of feel a little bit bad for him. I mean, some of his teammates were consulting him. It is what it is. But that guy who was in the locker room yelling at him, that guy should be off the team. I would have turned around and socked that motherfucker in the face. That obviously feels bad. You don't yell at him. That's just being a poor teammate.
Yeah, dude. Like he already feels bad enough. Obviously, yeah, bad play. Just wasn't thinking on it. But it's that's not right. You don't go up to your teammate and start yelling in his face that he sucks and they shouldn't have been doing it. It's like you got to understand, right?
Yeah,
I mean, the dude was sitting on the sideline crying the whole rest of the time.
I believe he said, why you hit the motherfucking quarterback, man?
Yeah.
I saw Micah Parsons came out and it's like, you don't do that. But yeah, how about that? Burrow had my ass, he says. Travis Kelce's just hilarious. He called the Cincinnati mayor a jabroni.
That's hilarious.
That guy's a freaking clown. He was a game time decision too with his back, so he looked fine too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then speak of Kelce, we got a Kelce matchup in the Super Bowl.
Yep, the Kelce Bowl. So that'll be interesting to watch. Obviously they're not going to go against each other one-on-one, but Chris Jones versus Jason Kelce is going to be a matchup to watch because you got arguably the best in the league, and then you got the best D-tackle in the league. So that is, like I said, it gets one up front. So whoever wins that battle, look for them to kind of take over. I mean, like I was talking about, Eagles got a solid defense. I think the Eagles are the most complete team in the league, defensively and offensively. They look so clean. It's kind of funny. They get such an advantage on these teams that by the time it's the second half, I start to doze off because it's just the game's, call the game.
Yeah,
so, I mean, that would be it.
It's already won.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to be a heavyweight matchup between the best two teams in the league. Obviously, we'll have more on that next week once, next week's media week for the Super Bowl and everything. So, or is it? Yeah, next week. So, I mean, we'll talk more about that matchup next week. Vikings defense coordinator update. I haven't heard too much. That Ryan Nielsen guy already took a job, so he's out of the hunt. So we got it down to Flores, Penn, and what's his name? Desai.
Yep. Well, I almost wonder. I wonder if they're not going to try to interview the Bengals defensive coordinator as well, because I think he's on the board right now too. I saw the Arizona Cardinals actually requested an interview with him today, so who knows? Maybe they were waiting for him.
I just know often in the league, like people usually don't go from defense coordinator to defense coordinator. It's usually DC to head coach. So we'll see. I hope they get Flores. He's young. I really don't want them. There's no reason to put Penn. I mean, Penn was part of the team this year, so he could have easily had a say on the defense. I think he can go.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think they're still going to keep him around. I don't think he goes anywhere, to be honest with you. I think he'll be more of an assistant again this upcoming year.
Just a
But
meaningless
before we
job.
forget, we gotta make our picks here for the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah. Well, we could end on that. We can end on that.
All right, we'll do that. So, Justin Jefferson, though, big time award this year.
Oh yeah. We talked about that a little bit last week. Yeah, but if given end of season awards, just out to the team in general. I mean, obviously Jefferson was
Yep.
MVP. Defense player of the year, I would honestly give it to Duke Shelley.
Yeah, he stepped up big time after he came in from the Bears. Didn't really
Offensive,
get the light of day until a couple weeks after, though.
yeah, and then offense rookie of the year, I'd give it to Naylor. He really stepped up towards the end of the year, and we saw flash of greatness. I would say,
Yeah,
very explosive, fun guy to watch. Ed Ingram, he was a rookie, started I believe like 16 games, but that guy can take a hike.
yeah. I don't know what they do for right guard this year. I don't know if they keep him and try to just because obviously he was a rookie, so you got to give him a little bit of leeway. And after maybe a full off season of work, be a little bit better and won't be stepping on toes as much. So we'll see with that. I don't know. He's a big body and he's a good pass protector. So
I'm surprised Kevin O'Connell didn't get nominated for Coach of the Year. I mean, he's 13-4 with the worst defense in the league. So
yeah, and that's hard to do.
yeah, so I mean, we'll see, but yeah, they got to make some moves. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, there's not really much that's came out lately. I mean, we'll see, but yeah.
I'm curious. I'm curious to see what this team's gonna look like. I feel quite a few roster shakeups coming. Free agency starts. What is it? 2 weeks or 3 weeks?
I think it's like 3 weeks after the Super Bowl.
Okay, you're probably right. It might be 3.
And then,
but yeah, I'm excited for that.
And the Vikings did just sign to a futures contract, Sheldon Day. So I mean, that guy's about 29 D tackle, about 6'1", 285. He's got pretty fast hands. He's explosive. Was cut by the Jaguars in like 2017, and then played with the 49ers. He was pretty solid. Provide good depth. So we'll see how that works out. So at least they're already kind of on. They know what they need to get on top of. Now you just got to get some good edge rushers. But yeah, we'll see what they do. I'm looking forward to the Super Bowl game. I'm taking
likewise.
Ooh, I'm taking
tough one.
I'm taking Philly 28-24.
Okay, all right, that's fair. Every time I've gone against Philly so far, it's kind of came back so I'm going with the bell here, and honestly, I think this might be a low scoring game. I don't think it's going to be high scoring at all, but I'm going to say
Holmes Magic
21. Yeah, I'm going to say 21-17.
Philly?
Yeah, Philly's winning.
Well, I've had Zach, our buddy from out in Philly, keeps calling me, "Go Birds, go Birds." I'm like, "Yeah, you guys won. All right, good for you." But I know he's telling me he might try to take the RV down to Super Bowl. I'm like, "All right, man, you do that."
Yeah.
But
they better hope that it doesn't get tipped over after the game.
Yeah, we may try to get him on the podcast next week, get a firsthand experience of what it's like to be an Eagle fan.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna work on that. Zoom him in. Yeah, that'd be fun to have him on. Just get what he would say out. So, and I know he's a diehard Philly fan. So, go Birds. That's all I gotta say. You got anything else that you want to talk about?
No, other than that, this is Keeping Up with the North, home of daily. It is daily Minnesota sports talk, but there's not really much to talk about in Minnesota sports. So, home of daily sports.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we'll keep you guys posted.
yep. Like, subscribe, do
Be
your
sure you
thing,
hit
ring
that
the
like,
bell.
subscribe. Yes, sir.
All right.
Talk to you guys next week.